Folks, the internet is thirsting over Luigi Mangione, the killer, the assassin of the healthcare CEO.
Do not worry, the podcast.
Okay, folks, it's time to talk about Luigi Mangione, who is the UHC assassin, the United Healthcare assassin. He's gone viral. You know who I'm talking about. Here is, we can't show you the video, obviously, but like here is sort of just a screenshot of this now iconic video of him sort of dressed in all black, hooded, with his face covered, with a apparently 3D printed pistol, and he killed a healthcare, like an insurance company CEO in cold blood. Cold blood-ish. Let's see what was the guy's name? Sorry, I forgot. It was Brian Thompson, CEO Brian Thompson. Here's a picture of him, which is funny. This tweet also says that other health insurance companies have started to remove their leadership pages, which names their CEOs. So companies are hiding their CEOs. So anyways, what's up? So what happened? Why did Luigi kill this insurance CEO? Most of you guys watching now are Americans, so you know that your healthcare system sucks. Americans don't have universal healthcare. Usually in the States, healthcare is tied to your job. So if you have a full-time job, they'll usually provide you with healthcare. If you lose that job, you lose your healthcare. So people who are unemployed don't have healthcare because they have to pay for it. And to pay for your health insurance is very expensive. Like I have a friend in the States who works a job, but they don't provide him with healthcare through his job. Like he pays for his own. He told me he paid like $600 to $700 a month. A month for health insurance. I'm like, bro, what the fuck does that do? And then with all of that, with all the money that people spend on insurance, it's still not guaranteed that you're going to get covered. Like you'll go to get a procedure or something like, yeah, well, you have to pay 20% or we'll only cover this much. Or insurance companies make their money by charging you more and denying as many claims as they can. The more money they bring in, the more money they pay out to the people who are paying into the system. That's how they make record profits. So it's fucked up. Healthcare should not be a for-profit system. Healthcare should be provided to people. It should be a right, not a privilege. The fact that in the States, healthcare is directly tied to profit margins and companies making money and shit is completely insane. You know what I mean? The fact that people don't have healthcare in the richest, most powerful country on earth is nuts. You know what I mean? That's why I became a huge Bernie Sanders supporter in 2016 when he was talking about universal healthcare, Medicare for all. Like can you grab our little Bernie over there? Bernie's been on our set. He's been on my podcast set for many years. I moved him away because he refused to call what was happening in Gaza a genocide. But Bernie was the reason I kind of got radicalized in 2016 because I'm like, fuck yeah, why isn't health insurance provided for all Americans? Also paid family leave, a bunch of other things. Bernie's great. So here, you can sit here today, Bernie. You've earned it. You can stay here. That's it in a nutshell. So a lot of people have been celebrating the fact that he murdered this guy. No one feels bad for Brian Thompson. Everyone feels bad that Luigi has now been caught. They're all thirsting on him because he's hot. Let's just be honest. Let's call a spade a spade. I don't even know where to start with this whole thing because it's such a conspiracy. And this is like Luigi has brought together the left and the right. Republicans and Democrats are all in agreement that they hate health insurance companies and they understand that something is majorly wrong with America's healthcare system. So let's just look at some of these. Let's just start with the thirst traps. How about that? So this is from Chelsea. She's like, I'm not seeing enough discussion of how hot the billionaire assassin is, and that's the real crime in this whole matter. So this is where, by the way, the only reason he got caught is because he went to a Starbucks and like smiled at a barista and took off his mask. And then he got caught in a McDonald's in Pennsylvania. He literally, if he was following BDS, he would not be caught right now. He got caught in a Starbucks and a McDonald's. Luigi, what the fuck, my man? Okay, go anywhere else, you wouldn't have been caught.
And you had to smile at the barista.
NYPD released new stills of the alleged shooter, apparently in a taxi with some unbelievable brow work, cutting some lethal angles. So everyone's just in love with his eyebrows. They're like, goddamn. Right here, the healthcare CEO assassin Luigi Mangione is so hot. He's not a murderer. He's a vigilante superhero with a devil face and a crying emoji. I mean, the dude is ripped as fuck. Like, I ain't gonna deny it. So this person, once they caught the assassin, Matt quote tweets, "Oh my God," with his shirtless picture. Matt is feeling it. Here's another tweet by Alex. Me liking all the posts about the hot assassin who killed the United Healthcare CEO. He's pushing the voice button. So and we got some art, some nice fan art. I can fix him. On a t-shirt, folks. Can you fix him?
I love that.
Who can fix Luigi? Here's another t-shirt, shirts that go hard. Luigi. And you got like the bullets. He wrote like defend, depose, and I forgot what else he wrote on there. Deny or something. Here's another one. Good luck finding 12 jury members that don't want to fuck him.
That's so good.
And so here they're grabbing him like outside of the courtroom. Maya says the pig cannot be touching my man like that. Don't worry, baby, I'm coming. So this man's gonna have like riots outside of his like hearing, bro. No one's gonna want this man to go to jail. So yeah, so people are thirsting for him, understandably, and like this was again. Let's just look at that smile again, smiling at the barista. Like what the fuck, dude? Look at that happy smile, just not a care in the world. Just
It's a nice smile.
very beautiful smile, beautiful smile. This is a beautiful man. Like, well, what can I say? You know what I mean? There have been some memes, folks. The memes have been memeing. Well, we don't have too many of them here, but like here's a few. So free my man right here. Let's just check this out real quick.
Release my nigga. Release my nigga.
Well, there we go. That was beautiful. That was lovely. There was a look. You guys know all the lookalike contests that have been happening in like New York. The Timothy Chalamet lookalike contest. They just did one for the guy from that cooking show. What was it called? The Bear.
The bear.
So we have a assassin lookalike contest. There we go.
You're right in time.
Bro, the internet works
They're
so fast.
quick.
It's so quick. Like Meshi, the dude's blood is still like wet on the floor, on the pavement. They're like, let's do a lookalike contest. Let's go. This is just like the Trump meme. So it's okay. They called me guilty too. You got Jesus standing behind Luigi, holding him on the shoulder. A shirtless Luigi, obviously. And here's a picture of him in China, I think, with his classmates. And we got, holy shit, he's the token white boy in the Asian group. So look at that. He's the token white boy. Seems like such a nice guy.
That's so cute.
Crazy shit, dude. Anyway, so what happened to him? Sort of, why did he get radicalized? What happened? Look, there's a bunch of things that happened to him. Here's a short video from Breaking Points with Crystal and Sagar, kind of talking about his background quickly. Let's hear what they have to say.
As we continue to get it, but this is the valedictorian of a very prestigious Baltimore prep school. He earned his bachelor's and master's degrees at the University of Pennsylvania. He served as head counselor at a pre-college program at Stanford University. His family is actually quite wealthy and well-known in the Baltimore area. Some of his relatives' cousins are even state legislators in the state of Maryland. His family seems to be some sort of like country club tycoons who are known in the area and quite wealthy actually themselves.
And not only so, my understanding is, this was reported by the New York Times, as well as some online sleuths, the source of their fortune originally comes from a chain of nursing homes, which could end up being relevant given that his purported motive here was anger at the healthcare industry. So put that out there. And then with that wealth, they purchased a number of country clubs. This is a very wealthy, well-known Baltimore family. He goes to this $40,000 a year prep school, goes off to Ivy League school, same one as Donald Trump. Lots of very highly esteemed individuals have gone there, studies computer science. Everyone who's in contact with him basically says this is a bright kid, very popular, seems like he has everything going for him. And then there seems to be a turning point in his story when he suffers some sort of horrific back injury.
It seems to play.
So yeah, everyone is mentioning that back injury that Crystal just mentioned, and actually, if you look at his Twitter banner, there's a picture of this Pokemon right here. What seems to be his back injury, where he got like some plates or something put in his back, and just a shirtless photo of him that went viral. And there's a few.
That's his Twitter banner.
That's his Twitter banner, yeah.
Interesting. What's that Pokemon?
I'll get you his name. And here's a tweet by Jack Mack. He says, spoke with a source that had a lot of friends that went to high school with Luigi. What keeps coming up is a back surgery that changed everything for him, and he went absolutely crazy. Checks out with his Goodreads history and the x-ray in his header. And yeah, part of his Goodreads history was Back Mechanic by Dr. Stuart McGill and Crooked, Outwitting the Back Pain Industry and Getting on, I think, like the right track or something. So he definitely had some kind of traumatic back injury. And here is an article kind of detailing what effects that had on him. So CEO shooter Luigi Mangione sex secret after back surgery as he spiraled into health industry obsession. Brian Thompson shooting suspect Luigi Mangione suffered a back injury so severe he was unable to have sex, a former roommate said. R.J. Martin lived with the murder defendant for 6 months at a Hawaii co-living space and told the New York Times about 26-year-old Mangione's secret agony. He knew that dating and being physically intimate with his back condition wasn't possible, Mr. Martin told the Times. Very sad to hear, and
That's crazy.
And that could make sense as to why he was radicalized. Maybe he had a bad experience with his insurance company, but I mean, he's a bright kid. He knows what's happening. There's actually been his manifesto was released, and I guess it's important for us to read it because, I mean, I know I've been doing a lot of reading this episode, but I feel like it's important to read this because this tells you exactly what was going through his mind. To the feds, I'll keep this short because I do respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience. The spiral notebook, if present, has some straggling notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. My tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. I do apologize for any strife of traumas, but it had to be done. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder, the US has the #1 most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly number 42 in life expectancy. That's true. United is the largest company in the US by market cap, behind only Apple, Google, Walmart. It has grown and grown, but as our life expectancy, no. The reality is these fuckers, I think, it's bleeped, have simply gone too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profit because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex, but I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the full argument. But many have illuminated the corruption and greed, example Rosenthal, Moore, decades ago, and the problems simply remain. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play. Evidently, I am the first to face it with such brutal honesty. So, I mean, he makes some good points. The US is the country that spends the most on individual healthcare, and they are ranked 42. Life expectancy in the US is actually decreasing, which is insane for a first world advanced country. Like, life expectancy is always supposed to go up, especially with all the modern medicine and everything, except in the States, it's going down. So it's kind of crazy. And yeah, people are sick of it. People are sick of these healthcare systems. People are sick of having to beg to get their insurance companies to cover their medical needs. Let's see some more thirst traps. Aseria. Mugshots. These might be the sexiest mugshots I've seen in my life, folks. And they kept taking mugshots of the guy. Like, every day, here's a new mugshot. It's like the police are happy photographing this dude.
Release more.
More mugshots. Here's him standing in a cell for some reason, just posing in there. Like, what's the purpose of this photo? And then on the second day, more mugshots. Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Look at all these mugshots. But anyways. But this has had... Okay, so first, there's also conspiracy theories. So you're asking, what Pokemon is that? There's been some conspiracies, folks. You know Twitter. You know the internet. Kira. According to Kira, the eyebrows don't match. Look at that here. You know what I mean? The eyebrow differences. Oh, my God. Is this all just a conspiracy, folks? Have we all been played for fools?
What? They look similar.
I don't know. Not according to Kira.
I mean, that's just a shadow.
Now, 286. You're asking about that Pokemon. So, Sam DeLeon had a question. Can someone explain the connection between that number 286 and Luigi Mangione? Because this is all way too much of a coincidence at this point. So, let's explain who that Pokemon is. So, that Pokemon is, first of all, Breloom. And he's number 286. Like, Pokemon number 286. He's a mushroom Pokemon. So, that is the first explanation for the number 286. Then we have... Breloom's Pokedex number is 286. Proverbs 28:6 reads, "Better is a poor man who walks in integrity than a rich man who is crooked in his ways." So also matches up with the Bible. So 28:6. And we got a Pokemon. And Luigi has 286 posts on his Twitter account. So we got 286 posts on Twitter. Pokemon number 286. Bible verse 28:6. Something's going on, folks. There's something not right.
He's way ahead of
There's a conspiracy afoot. But I think that the greatest thing to come out of all of this is the attention that it's been bringing to healthcare, health insurance, the flaws in the American healthcare system. And, like I mentioned before, it has united the right and the left, folks. For the first time, it seems that Republicans and Democrats have something to look forward to. So here...
a sexy guy.
A sexy man killing an insurance CEO. That's all it took. So here's a Ben Shapiro video. He made this. He's like, the evil revolutionary left cheers murder. And yeah, he thinks like this is going to get, his right-wing audience to be like, yeah, fuck the crazy left. Well, actually, it had the exact opposite effect because all of Ben's fans were like, Ben, you just don't get it, my man. So Robert Spring says, L take. I'm glad the comments section noticed the CEO was actually a criminal. Sakib says, my God, conservatives, liberal, and lefties are hugging it out in the comments. My God, this is beautiful. And it is kind of beautiful. We got J-Dog says, surprise, out of touch rich guy defends other rich guys. Evan Turk says, hate to break it to you, buddy, but it's not just the left who's sick of this. You got to be happy seeing this. A few bolts loose. He says, I'm a conservative and have been since I was a teenager. I will shed no tears for this man. His policies aimed at protecting profits denied the insured life-saving treatments. We pay for insurance to help us with expenses we cannot otherwise afford. When they take our money but do nothing for us apart from paying for our annual wellness exam, then the system is broken all to pieces. We, the working class, collectively live in fear of being hospitalized due to the staggering bills and lack of support from our overpriced insurance. If Thompson's death moves the needle towards meaningful reform, then it will be a worthy sacrifice. God damn, those are some good comments. Soul Underground says, I'm not buying this left versus right shit anymore, Ben. I want healthcare for my family. The media portal says, I just realized your entire business model requires that us normal folk hate each other. And absolutely, that is what the mainstream media does. The lamestream media. I'm kidding. But like, yeah, that's what they do. They want to keep you guys against each other. They want to make this a woke issue instead of a class war, because this is what actually separates American. It's class. It should be a class war, not culture wars and who's woke and who's not and who's gay and who's trans. It's about the fucking rich who control the 1% that control fucking 99% of the wealth in the fucking world. So that's what we should be angry about, not fucking who uses bathrooms. One final comment. This has to be the first time I'm seeing Ben get cooked by his own comment section.
I mean, finally.
Yeah, I mean, it's... and there's, like, Libs of TikTok. So Libs of TikTok, I fucking hate that account. Also went through the same thing. They're like, they're selling shirts now. Celebrating the murder. Yeah, look at that. And... yeah, they were not Libs of TikTok fans.
Lips of TikTok.
Again, we're not into that. Like, not too sure this is leftist action. Many people from both sides are tired of the rich getting richer and the poor getting poorer. This dude was the CEO of a company that was responsible for the death of thousands of people. His company literally destroyed thousands of lives. No sympathy, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on. So the right is not falling for it. This is not some crazy left thing. Americans in general are sick of this. They want healthcare. They deserve healthcare. You got to find a way to give it to him. It can't be tied to jobs anymore. Also, there was a lot of talk of, like, is he a Republican? What are his political leanings? Because he follows certain people on Twitter, like Peter Thiel, and he retweets certain things. He talked about, like, liking Jordan Peterson at one point, but, like, not liking how he delivers his messages. I don't think any of that stuff matters. What matters is what he's standing for, which is that these healthcare companies are gouging people. And just a quick...
Yeah, what he did wasn't out of politics. It was out of
genuine
humanity.
Exactly.
I feel.
And just to look, quick statistics. So, like, these are the statistics of the companies that deny the most insurance claims. UHC, United Healthcare, is top. So, claim denial rates by insurance companies. Yeah, Kaiser Permanente denies only 7% of their claims. You go all the way down to fucking UHC. They deny 32% of their insurance claims. So that's fucking criminal. Basically a third of the claims that they get, they deny them.
I read that they've been using AI to automatically sort through the requests.
Yeah, I think Brian, like, the guy
That's
that got killed, was
insane.
one of the guys that, like, installed this, like, AI system to, like, automatically deny. It's insane. It is completely insane. Healthcare is a killer. This was a good post by Cine Bloom, or Sienna Bloom. Sienna Bloom. 45,000 people in the U.S. die every year because they don't have health insurance. Last year, 21% of insured Americans had claims denied, leaving them without the care of their doctors ordered. And 9% of doctors report that these delays or denials resulted in patient deaths. This is systematic violence, which particularly targets the sick and disabled, and it happens every single day without anyone batting an eye. So now, again, thanks to Luigi, everyone is looking at this way more fucking closely. And I think this actually kind of did have an effect. There's this company called Anthem Healthcare. They were going to put a time limit on anesthesia coverage. So, like, if you have a surgery, they might only cover the first 8 hours of anesthesia, and then you have to pay for the next 2 hours of anesthesia. After the murder, Anthem announces
insane.
reversal of plans to put time limits on anesthesia coverage. So they reversed that
That's
decision.
crazy.
They're fucking scared, Joe, and they need to be fucking scared. So this is, I think, a direct result of what Luigi did. You know what I mean? So I think that's great.
One of the funny things I found on Twitter, people were posting his Goodreads reviews on certain books, and one of the books was Industrial Society and Its Future, which is the Unabomber Manifesto. And he went into really extensive detail in his review, and it's real, honestly.
He's very active on Goodreads. I feel like we could do a whole episode just like breaking down the books that he's read and his reviews. But, like, yeah, he was talking about, like, how people should take sometimes, like, matters into their own hands, and, like, while violence isn't, he doesn't condone violence, sometimes it's the only way. So, yeah, you can definitely see his...
When all other forms of communication fail, violence is necessary to survive.
Yeah. Violence never solved anything is a statement uttered by cowards and predators. This is a quote. I think that's from the book. So anyways, that's our Luigi Mangione coverage. Hope you guys, what do you guys think in the comments? I have a feeling most of you guys, if you're watching the show, you agree with what Luigi did. I mean, obviously, murdering someone in cold blood is never something that we would encourage. But I mean, in this case, yeah, that man, Brian, was responsible for the death of thousands, but he didn't do it with a gun. He did it with a pen, stroke of a pen, just denying claims. And sometimes, yeah, that doesn't look very violent, but the results of denying someone claim, it can be painfully excruciating and like fucking horrible, man. Causes suffering and all sorts of sickness. So crazy. Luigi, we're with you, my man. We're gonna keep following that case. Set Luigi free. Free Luigi, baby.
Do not worry, the podcast